How's it going, everybody? Welcome back. Tales of Arise, Part 18. We are... Last time, we...
Shion, just in the nick of time. Here, lend me a hand while I...
No!
What the... Oh, right. The thorns. My bad.
How did you forget that?
I'm the one who should apologize. I overreacted.
Again, Law? Can't you even go a minute without putting your foot in your mouth?
Seriously, it's fine. I'd rather that than people feeling like they're walking on eggshells around me. Besides, I'm the one who should be vigilant about not touching you guys, not the other way around.
Actually, I've been meaning to ask. Not being able to touch people.
I guess I never really thought about it in those terms. It was either accept it for what it was, or come undone. Before long, it was just part of my everyday reality. I think I even forgot there was another way to live. Which isn't to say I didn't feel alone. I did. Always.
So numb to your reality, you couldn't even recognize it as loneliness? I don't know how you managed.
It's fine. I know I'm not alone anymore.
But I can't even touch you. No way of lending you a shoulder when you're down? Even Alphen.
I appreciate the concern. Until I get rid of these thorns, I guess I'll have to put up with it just a little longer. But not forever. Alphen promised me that. Maybe it'll be soon, maybe it won't be. But either way, the day will come. And I'll be ready when it does.
Yeah, just hang...
We beat the Red Woman. We deduced that Valeron is still alive. And Rena is like half a planet. Hollow.
The planet's really not doing too hot right about now.
I've only ever seen Rena from the surface of Dana, so I figured it was just another round planet like ours. Still though, I never would have imagined Rena actually looked like that. And what's the deal with that giant flower coming out of it?
Beats me. I have absolutely no clue. It's so surreal. It looks like a broken egg or something.
Rena and Dana. We were taught that both worlds were spherical bodies that floated amongst the stars in the heavens. But to think that they lied to us not only about the Sovereign and the Crown contest, but also the form of our own planet.
Dohalim.
Okay, who's the wise guy that summoned us here? Someone...
Boo!
Ah! What the? Are you out of your mind? This isn't the time for games, Rinwell!
Oh, come on. How am I supposed to resist with you looking all jittery like that?
It's called experiencing feelings appropriate to the situation. You ought to try it sometime.
Yeah, but seeing you act all nervous, you're making me start to feel nervous too. Whew!
Oh, sorry.
Staying alert is important, but too much caution can cloud your judgment. Try to strike a balance.
Damn, so many.
That beam of light joining Dana and Rena. It was the Renan side that it first came from, right?
That's what it looked like. And then the Danon side responded.
Perhaps it was some kind of directive from the Renan homeworld? To reawaken the Wedge and Lenegis?
Which would mean that whoever's behind all this is on Rena after all. But what are they after?
Try to stay calm. With so many factors we don't understand. What is it?
No, it's just... Zephyr once told me the same thing. So much for me making progress, huh?
You made it this far. You notice something, you change it. That's all anyone can do. But you can't stand still in the meantime.
Alrighty. Oh. Oh, I don't want to go there just yet. Let's go to the upper level. That floor is not accessible. Who summoned us here?
This place looks a lot like that room we saw back in the Forbidden Zone.
Huh? What's that?
Looks like a red woman.
It's one of those!
A red woman in disguise. Or is this their true form?
So it was a trap?
It doesn't look like it can move. Tell me, are you the one who brought us here?
That is correct. It is unusual for me to have unexpected guests these days.
It can talk.
What are you?
Hevrecht 35.
Hevrecht 35. Is that your name?
Correct.
What is this place? No, wait, before that, just what exactly are you? Are you somehow associated with the Red Women?
Before I answer, I have a question for you. How did you all arrive in this sector?
We did not come to this place by choice. Our ship was brought here against our will, by a group of red women who can shift into the same form as you.
In that case, we can assume my brethren who serve the Great Spirit have deemed you all to be a threat most grave.
What do you mean, serve? Are you saying there really is someone more powerful than the Red Women, pulling their strings?
What did you do to us?
I examined your bodies. You have not been harmed in any way. Identifiers detected. The Sovereign and Maiden are among you. However, you aren't under its control. I see why they viewed you as a danger now.
Oh, goody. More riddles.
Do you think we can trust this thing?
Like it or not, it may be our best chance at a ticket out of here. Let's at least hear it out.
I shall now answer your questions. We are Helganquil. The Red Women you encountered previously are a form of disguise we employ from time to time, but not our true form.
Helganquil?
You are on Dake Phasal, a celestial base which drifted here by accident. The will of Rena's great spirit no longer reaches us here. Since my sudden separation from the Great Spirit's influence, I have used any and all means to extend my lifespan. As I have done so, I have also set out to monitor and research Rena and Dana from this position.
A question. What is this Great Spirit of which you speak? Is it something that rules over your kind?
Correct. The Great Astral Spirit is a large mass of astral energy that fills all of Rena, one with its own will, a voice we cannot refuse.
A voice? Just like Dana.
The voice of the Great Spirit speaks to our hearts directly, and we have served it, without question, throughout the ages.
So they're aliens.
Does that mean it was controlling your minds? Wait a second. Could this Great Spirit be the true Sovereign of Rena?
The true ruler of Rena. It could be the same thing that's controlling Volron.
Wait, back up. You're telling us this Great Spirit of yours is the one that ordered you things to harvest the astral energy from Dana? I'm not sure I believe that.
Why not? We've already made contact with the will of Dana back in the Wedge, and in the Forbidden Zone on Lenegus. If Dana has a will of its own, I don't see why Rena wouldn't.
Maybe not, but think about what you're saying. If Dana has a will like Rena, then that would mean that we've been controlled by the voice of Dana this whole time, just like these things.
Dana's will hasn't been forcing us to do anything.
Yeah, but...
Let's assume that what Hevrecht 35 claims is true, and that we are indeed cut off from both planets. Even if we had previously been under the control of Dana's will, we would have noticed now that we are disconnected.
Your fear is not based in logic. The voice of Dana is much smaller and quieter compared to that of Rena's Great Spirit. Rena's astral energy is amassed at its center, whereas Dana's is shared among all its constituents. So thinly is that energy spread that it cannot coalesce and formulate a will. Our findings here indicate as much.
Which explains why we felt its will where we did. The Wedge and Lenegis are where so much of that energy had been accumulated.
The Great Spirit's desire is to consume all astral energy. And the pursuit of that desire is why you see Rena in its current state. As a result, it has turned its attention toward Dana.
Is that why the crown contest is necessary? So that the Great Spirit can feed off of Dana?
Indeed. And it was to that end that we Helganquil devised the crown contest. Had the initial spirit channeling from 300 years ago succeeded, all of Dana's astral energy would have been seized.
But the ceremony failed. Lenegis was severely damaged, and you lost both the Sovereign and the Renasalma.
Correct. A change in plan was required to ensure the spirit channeling success. However, recreating the Renasalma required a vast amount of energy. That is why we turned to Dana.
So that was the real purpose behind the crown contest. An efficient means to harvest the necessary energy from Dana.
This is all happening because of me.
Nevertheless, you still haven't answered one of Alphen's original questions. Just why have you brought us here to your base, Hevrecht 35?
First, it was to confirm the identities of you, my unexpected visitors. Second, it was to ascertain whether you would be likely to accept my request.
A request? But what could someone like you want us to...
I wish for you all to slay the Great Spirit.
I'm sorry, did you just ask us to kill your master?
I did. It is in your best interest that you do so, I might add.
What makes you say that?
Lenegis
Your
has
planet
entered
is
the final
dying.
stage of the spirit channeling plan. As we speak, Dana's energy is being harvested en masse and transmitted to Rena. If nothing is done about the Great Spirit, it will not be long before all is lost.
You're saying the destruction we saw earlier is just the beginning? That...
We won't let that happen.
Why do you want us to kill the Great Spirit so badly? Is it to save our world? To free you, Helganquil, from under its control? Why?
No. My primary concern is validating our findings and analysis, which have taken many years to realize. As such, it is my desire to see how your actions impact and change these systems. However, I will not deny that vengeance also plays a part.
Vengeance? For what?
In spite of our long service to the Great Spirit, our species is on the brink of extinction.
You mean... you're dying?
At this stage, it would be wise for you to talk with the others. Ask them what you need to know. Once you have your answer, return to me. If you agree to help, I shall fix your ship.
Others? Just how many of you are there?
I am the only Helganquil who inhabits Dake Faisal.
Hey! Hey!
It's no use. I think it's done talking to us. Let's take a look around.
So aliens, huh?
You can't seriously be buying anything that creature told us, right? I mean, it's practically blackmail.
To be honest, the conversation went on for so long, I'm not sure I understood all of it.
At the very least, everything it said about the Renan Great Spirit adds up. At the end of the day, that being said, had we not previously encountered the will of Dana, I suspect I would find its story much more difficult to believe.
The spirit of Rena wants to see Dana completely destroyed.
But why? Astral energy is supposed to be a force that creates and shapes the world.
It doesn't matter. I don't care if we're up against an entire world or what its game is.
Drop my controller.
We're not going to let it destroy Dana.
Right.
There is one other thing that concerns me. How the Great Spirit, the Helganquil, and the Crown Contest are all part of a centuries-long plan is clear enough. But what about the Renans?
Now that you mention it, and all that talk, Heverick 35 never even brought up the Renans once. And as for the Helganquil, we never did find out just what they are either.
Maybe it had a reason for keeping its silence. Or perhaps there's even more going on. Maybe the others. Let's find out.
We can take the other levels now. Cool.
Who are they?
What is it?
Oh, my apologies. It's just been so long since I've seen any humans from the outside world.
Are you a Renan?
Oh, yeah, I guess so. The Overseer told us to answer any questions you might have. Whatever you want to know, we'll tell you as much as we can.
What a weird guy.
He must have meant Heverick 35 when he mentioned that Overseer.
And what was that about subjects? You don't think he meant Dana and Rena, do you?
There isn't anyone else we can talk to. I guess we should ask around here.
Have you guys lived up here in Deg Fazel with Heverick 35 for a long time?
Yes. I couldn't tell you off the top of my head. We regularly go into stasis, so our sense of time has gotten rather...
Why are you all even here in the first place?
Originally, this station was where we worked to perform maintenance on...
We heard that the facility ended up in its current location due to an accident.
Oh, it was terrible. Apparently there was some kind of accident, and when help never arrived...
And you've been working for Heverick 35 at...
Well, at first we thought that there was nobody else inside the facility, but then it turned out
What do you mean?
The Helganquil have the technology to cloak themselves around us Renans. As long as they don't do anything obvious, a Renan won't see one, even if it's right in front of them.
Which would explain why Shion and I failed to notice the Red Women previously.
I haven't been able to scientifically confirm it for myself, but from what I understand, the type of cloaking they use is primarily achieved through In addition, they also used hypnosis devices and information control. It's a pretty sophisticated operation, especially since it avoids any unnecessary I have to imagine that's how Lenegis is still run. The Great Spirit's mind control only works on Helganquil, so they had to employ other means to manipulate.
You act like this didn't affect you personally. If I was you, I'd be mad as hell at their deceptions.
I mean, sure. I was surprised when I first found out about it.
Heverick 35 has clearly ceased concealing itself, though.
What? Who can say? My guess is it just...
Don't you want to go back home to Rena or Lenegis? Our ship is going to be fixed pretty soon.
No way. If we went back after knowing the truth, they'd either just brainwash us or purge us. After all this time, there's nothing to be gained from going back. Things are going just fine with the Overseer. Not that it'll be around much longer. It can't extend its life any further. That said, I'm sure it's pleased to see the final stage of the...
Thank you for answering.
I'm skipping some of them because I'm reading... At times I'm reading faster than they're talking, so I want to get through it.
Sure. It's going to be a while before the two planets undergo their next shift.
Please, tell us what you know about the Helgan.
You mean the Overseer species? I can't say I know much about them.
Well, for starters, where'd they come from?
Where else? From Rena, obviously.
From Rena? Wait, are you telling us those things live right alongside the...
Of course not. There's really no such thing as Renans in the first place.
Excuse me?
Oh, I thought the Overseer explained everything.
Apparently not.
Please, tell us more.
Well, in a nutshell, the Renans were originally created from Danans by the Helganquil.
What? Bombshell.
But if that's true...
So they're Danans.
Then that would mean there aren't any people on Rena.
There aren't. But there are Helganquil. That's what the name literally means in their language. People of Rena.
But what need could they possibly have to create a whole new race of people?
It was a way to bolster their dwindling workforce. I trust you're aware that the Helganquil are on the verge of extinction, yes? In essence, we were created to carry on their work for the Great Spirit after they all die. They gathered Dahnans who had an affinity for astral arts and proceeded from there. That's why we, as their descendants, can all cast arts, albeit to varying degrees.
Let me get this straight. Are you saying Renans were originally created from Dahnans that the Helganquil kidnapped?
Wait, that explains why almost nobody can use astral arts on Dana now.
Helganquil technology is truly amazing. The way they alter their bodies is far less invasive than your conventional surgeries.
They have these tiny machines that are practically invisible, which they insert into their bodies and...
How can you speak so calmly about all of this?
I guess I can see how, when viewed in a certain light, their ways may sound grotesque. But if you ask me, I think they ultimately did us a favor. They saved us from crawling the earth in ignorance. If it meant their hands had to get a little dirty in the process, then so be it. Anyway, the Helganquil are the real Renans. Personally, I don't think it's such a big deal. They're also mostly the ones behind what you see going on between the two planets.
I see.
Does he really expect us to believe that Renans never truly existed? How absurd.
Dohalim.
Just when I think we're getting to the bottom of it all, some new revelations...
And let's hope this is our last revelation for a while.
Crazy. Crazy.
Do you know anything about a spirit channeling plan?
If you mean the first plan from 300 years ago, then yes. Do you know what its main objective was?
Yes. It was to use Lenegis to siphon off Dana's astral energy and send it to Rena.
Exactly. However, there were two problems we had to consider. First was how to collect, and second, we had to figure out how to convert Dana's energy so it would be...
I take it the solutions to those problems were to use the wedge for the collection, and then the Sovereign and Maiden to...
We have a winner! However, the first plan failed when the Sovereign was overwhelmed. The reason for that is because the Maiden lost control. I'm told he slaughtered many Renans and Helganquil that day. For the next plan, we tried to recreate the Renasalma, but we didn't have nearly enough of the other non-dark astral. To amend that, we set our sights on Dana, and implemented a system whereby we could extract energy from it.
And the crown contest began.
A new sovereign had to be made as well. It was such tremendously difficult work, its success was dubious. But from the look of things, it would appear such worries were
So that's what the purpose of that room we found in the Forbidden...
What about the flower that sprouted from Rena?
Flower? Oh, that thing. That's the physical manifestation of all the astral energy. As I'm sure you've noticed, it's quite a lot of energy. At this point, it's likely that it's become physically integrated.
Hevrecht 35 mentioned that the spirit channeling plan is entering its
It is. I never thought I would live to see the day with my own eye. Are we done talking now? If it's all the same to you,
He talks like the potential end of the world is just another day on the job.
You've got to remember that these guys have been living alone up here for a long time.
It feels like our whole world has been turned upside down. Is there anything we know that's still true at this point?
Seriously, I'm still trying to process the fact that we Renans were created by the Helganquil, let alone the Sovereign and Maiden stuff.
Let's take a moment to gather ourselves. I know all of this is a lot to believe and take in, but I think it's fair to say that we found the answers we've been looking for.
Agreed. Though I'll admit that I never expected it to all boil down to Rena's...
Everything that's happened, everything we've endured, it's...
And to get that energy, the Great Spirit took control of the Then the Helganquil created the Renans.
Plus, the reason the Great Spirit can't directly control the Renans as well is likely because they were originally...
Either way, I think it's fair to say we've all had a lot to take in at once. Maybe too much, even. We should probably... Why don't we all take some time to think things over, before we
That's a good idea, Keith. If the Renan Great Spirit really is behind all this, because it's not just Dana on the line, but Rena too. If we're going to do this, so let's go ahead and break off for now. We aren't in any immediate danger. You sure you don't want to be alone right now?
I could ask you the same question.
I figured I'd get all my thinking in while walking around and checking up on everybody.
I'll go along with you. I'm interested to hear what's on everyone's minds, too.
Sounds good. Let's go find them.
Everyone's just gone their own way, huh?
Yeah, let's hit up each spot. Everything we thought we knew, it was all just a fabrication that the Red Women, that the Helganquil made up.
Right. Assuming we can believe anything that Hevrik 35 has told us, that is.
Well, if the names are anything to go by, it's possible the Helganquil could be...
But if Hevrik 35 was telling the truth, and this was all just one massive lie, does that mean everything we've done up until now has been pointless?
No, I don't think so. Or at least I hope not. I think it just means we've lost our foothold for now.
Really? Well then, if we've lost it, I guess we'll just have to find another. All of us together. And if we can't find one, then we'll make a new one.
Make one, huh?
Oh, it's you two. Does he seem like he's doing any better now?
He who? Oh, you mean Dohaly?
I know that we're all struggling to wrap our minds around it all, but he looked like he was
What do you think about everything we've learned? About the Renans?
On some level, I'm not even really sure what to think, to be honest. I mean, the Great Spirit is like a huge natural disaster, but with a mind and wit. But if that thing's hellbent on trying to destroy our planet, then the only thing left for us to do is... As for the Renans, I suppose my feelings on that are a bit more mixed.
How so?
Coexistence between Dahnans and Renans in Menancia is still a work in progress. In my case, I think that's partly because deep down, I was still on guard around Renan. To be told that they're like us, that they're actually just like us is... Well...
You kept a pretty level head.
Yeah. You mean about the Renans? At the end of the day,
surreal.
The Helganquil and the Great Spirit are the ones who are responsible. But at the same time, I realize that not every Dahnan is necessarily going to believe that either.
I know you're already aware of this, but the list of grievances the Dahnans have against the Renans is long, and understandably... And if people then find out that they're all actually one and the same... Yeah, I don't think they're going to take to it too kindly.
Even just among the Dahnans, I'm sure there'll be some who emerge with power, and some who won't. I think if we can find a way to get rid of that imbalance...
Well, first we can try to figure out what to do about the existing conflicts we have.
Yeah. It'd be nice if one day people could learn to get...
It's no small task. We can't pretend like the past didn't happen and ask people to forget their very real...
Right. Everybody has their reasons for feeling the way that they do. But if we just keep yelling at each other about it, in a worst-case scenario, it might lead to even more people getting killed.
And we all have to figure out how to meet halfway. Not just that, but to also...
That's an interesting way of putting it.
It's true. Everybody has their own scars, their own trauma. The first step to heal... It won't be achieved through reasoning, but I think it's a good first step. And now, I think I see a way to move forward. But to do that, first we need to make sure our plan...
You both seem awfully calm.
Only because after everything we've seen, we don't have the energy to keep being shocked.
How are you holding up, Rinwell? That whole talk about the Renans looked like it shook you up a bit.
Yeah. I get this sinking feeling whenever I remember how Dahnan mages like my family were persecuted and died out. And now, I finally know why that is. But I was thinking, if Renans end up living together with Dahnans again, then mages won't be such an unusual thing to see on Dahna anymore, right? I know it's not as simple as all that, but... Dahnans probably won't be so quick to let their guards down. And there might be Renans who still act superior because of their arts.
It wouldn't surprise me. 300 years of bad blood and prejudice isn't going to be an easy thing to overcome.
Yeah. I know firsthand just how much hatred can take hold in your heart once you let it in. But even so, I was still able to change. And if I can change, so I was thinking maybe, I don't know, I could use my position as both a Danon and a mage to help bring both sides together.
Rinwell.
That great spirit worries me too, though. Dana's will feels so warm and inviting. So why is Rena's will...
Now that you mention it, Everett 35 and the other scientists here never really brought that up.
Maybe. But regardless, at the end of the day, Dana's still our home.
We won't. We'll keep it safe no matter what.
I still can't believe it, man.
You're not the only one still trying to make sense of all this.
Really? You've never struck me as the type of guy to get hung up on the—
Did you forget what happened back in Thistleum? Once my memories started coming back to me, I felt completely and totally lost.
It was really that bad for you?
Yeah, it was. But thanks to Law and everybody else, I remembered that I still had things out there worth fighting for.
Man, I think you might be a better guy than me, Alphen. All I can remember thinking was, when's this guy gonna get his act together?
Law.
I was too worried about repeating the same mistakes I'd made back with my dad. And running away from the truth, that was no way to live. And I've tried to stay strong, my way. But all this talk about other races and the world ending, if I can be honest with you guys—
I know this is going to sound strange coming from me, but maybe the key is not to worry too much.
Oh?
I used to worry all the time about my thorns, for obvious reasons. But I never really opened up to anyone. And when I realized my visions pointed to a threat that was bigger than me, I didn't know. But that's when I finally got it. You guys were all there for me, to teach me what's really important.
In other words, if you let the big picture stuff get you all muddled up inside, you'll begin to lose sight of what you really care about.
Most important, what I really care about. All I want to do is protect the people that really matter to me, to fight for them. That's good enough, right?
Not everyone is strong enough to fight.
Huh?
It's something your dad told me once when he was still alive. Law, you know you're strong enough to fight, and you're strong enough to protect the people you care about. Forget all the big stuff going on. Just don't lose sight of what you want to protect in the—
Yeah, I think it does. It's like a big weight's been lifted off my shoulders. I'll fight to protect the people around me. Just like I always have. I think that's best.
I thought I put his hoodie on. His hoodie outfit on.
Of the Renans?
Indeed. It's shocking to have so many things I thought to be indelible fade away in me.
Even I'm still not sure everything we've heard here is actually—
Let's not delude ourselves. If what we've heard is a lie, I can only imagine that you must have been constantly feeling like this, ever since your memory returned, Alphen. And you was—
That's just part of being alive, don't you think?
Well, to say the least. But enough about me. I'm not concerned for myself.
When you say the other Renans, you mean the ones that are living on Lenegis or Dana, right?
Correct. Even if we stop the Great Spirit from putting aside the untold state that Rena may be in, if we do not truly belong there, we will have to think long and hard about where it is that we wish to return to.
So, I guess your only real choices at this point are to either stay on Lenegis or come down to Dana, huh? And right now,
And at the same time, Danans are hardly likely to embrace Renans with open arms. If the issue is forced, there is, after all, 3 centuries worth of hatred to overcome between us. And the victims of our rule have absolutely every right to feel animosity towards us Renans. Our own circumstances as the aggressors are irrelevant.
I didn't expect the former Lord of Menancia to be so down.
Menancia's fate was a stroke of good luck. There had been backlash over how it had been ruled, and I was blessed to have sympathizers among my ranks. Still, even now—
But things can still change if you have the right people to help lead the way. Isn't that what you hope to achieve?
Indeed.
It's a lot of fucking dialogue, man. Holy shit.
In that regard, on that note, I have something of a favor to ask of you, Alphen.
Oh?
I wish for you to serve as a mediator, so that the Renans can live on as the one and only blazing sword. I suspect the Dahnans may listen to what you have to say when...
And I take it that you'll be the one to represent the Renans?
Yes. I realize that I'm asking quite a lot of you. However, the fact of the matter is that it will take time for Renans to re-enter Dahnan society without any...
You're the same as ever, Dohalim.
Is it too much?
No, relax. You get so tense and formal when you're asking for a favor. Listen, there's no need for that. We're friends.
You're too kind.
That's some high praise, Alphen.
Then I'll ask once again. This time just as friends. Alphen.
You don't even need to ask. Of course I will.
Thank you.
Well, it sounds like everyone's learning from their past and using it to create a better future for everyone.
What about you, Shionne? How do you feel about the origin of the Renans?
To be honest,
It's been half an hour of just straight dialogue.
I mean,
no gameplay.
I might be a Renan in the literal sense, but I've never really felt like one of them. Right now, it's kind of a mystery.
How do you mean?
Because for a really, really long time, all I ever thought about was how I was going to die. Not if or when. I thought I'd die alone. That fate had me in its steely grip. I would have never imagined that I'd be traveling with someone like you, fighting to save Rena and Dahna. It's been going on for 300 years. All this tragedy and destruction. It was Naori's hope that somehow, someone in the future would be able to stop it. How it fell on us, of all people, to heed that.
I don't think Naori was hoping that we would just stop the world from getting destroyed. She considered me, a Dahnan, as a real person. And she very much cherished her own people, too. I don't think she wanted the world to be saved, just so they could go back to hurting each other.
Huh?
When we were talking to Kisara earlier, about all that stuff, like everyone's needing to meet she said that the first step down that path was for each of us to put aside. That means forgiving other people. Even and especially before they forgive you.
Forgiving. So it goes both ways.
Yeah. I don't just mean forgiving things that happened in the past either. Conflicts will keep if we have any hope of moving on and building a better future.
You know, you're right. People can hurt one another without even meaning to.
It's not going to be easy getting past this pain, but if we can do it, I'm sure there'll come a time. I'm there with you, Shionne. I too want to protect the... I think that's the very least I can do to repay Naori.
Yeah. I want a future that she would feel proud to live in. And I'm...
Whoa there, Savior Girl. We're here to save you too, you know.
Yes, I know.
Okay. So let's go a little bit. Come on.
Is everybody ready to do what needs to be done?
I am. There's a lot to think about, but at the end of the day, I don't care who we're up against. We'll kick their ass.
What are your thoughts, Alphen? I want to know what's on your mind.
Like Law said, if we have to fight the Great Spirit on Rena, it's trying to rob us of our entire world. And it's going to take not just our home, but all of existence along with it. That alone is enough to make it our enemy. But it's not only that. One way or another, I think beating the Great Spirit is going to be tied to us saving Shionne.
You're saying there's a chance?
You're referring to the vision of destruction we all...
Yeah. 3 centuries ago, the astral energy that appeared at the spirit channeling ceremony, and to hear Shionne tell it, it's the same one that she sees from her own thorn.
Indeed. Shionne's thorns are comprised of dark astral energy. And if Rena's Great Spirit is what's behind Dahna's pending destruction, then...
Shionne's thorns are the Great Spirit? It's not actually on Rena like we thought?
We don't know anything for certain. At the very least, though, I think it's possible her thorns...
While the main body resides in Rena.
Shionne, if these thorns really are a part of Rena's Great Spirit, I'm going to go over there and give it a piece of my mind and then some.
The question is, how do we confront it? Suffice it to say, that flower growing out of Rena is enormous. Large enough to house... The Wedge and Lenegis were both hard enough for us to overcome in their own right. This is an altogether greater challenge for merely 6.
And we only know about the Thorns connection thanks to Naori.
Heverick 35 has been observing the Great Astral. It wouldn't ask us to fight it unless it has a plan of some sort. Our minds... They're made up. Let's go give Heverick 35 our answer.
So if the Sovereign and Maiden were originally boot-up programs for Lenegis...
Even with the Forbidden Zone in ruins and the Renis Alma stolen, Lenegis is functioning fine.
First they lumber you with a position you never asked for, then you're discarded like you're nothing? Who the hell do they think they are?
More importantly, who do they think we are?
I just hope everyone on Lenegis is safe.
Worst comes to worst, Lenegis is equipped with a large number of starships the people can escape in. As long as the whole...
Wait.
In any case, if we're truly going to make a difference, it's on Rena we're needed, not...
Right.
Okay. Was it the upper level he was on? Oh. Central level.
Do you have your answer?
We want to ask something first. You're asking us to fight an entire planet. How exactly do you expect us to do that? You must have something up your sleeve, or else you wouldn't put...
The great astral spirit is an immense being, but its actual will does not run throughout its entire body. Rather, its will is derived from the core, which supports the rest of the body, and is where its strength... Therefore, if you destroy the core, the great spirit shall become unable to maintain sentience, and return to being ordinary astral...
And how are we supposed to destroy that?
By using the Renis? You will also need the assistance of both the Sovereign and the Maiden. They are our best tools for suppressing and controlling astral energy. Using their powers, the Maiden shall seal the great astral spirit within her body, and the Sovereign shall wield the power of the Renis Alma to destroy it.
Hold on. That sounds a lot like what Shion described before.
Yeah, killing herself to take out the Thorns with her.
She was actually right all along.
By my calculations, your powers combined should be sufficient to destroy the great astral spirit, and disperse its energy widely enough to make it difficult to reform.
What will happen to the Maiden once we manage to beat the great astral spirit?
Any matter contained within the field of destruction shall be erased.
So it really will kill me.
This method is the most simple one available to destroy the great spirit, and is therefore our most reliable option.
What are our other options?
There is little reason to consider alternative courses of action when the most optimal among them is so clear.
We didn't fight this whole time just to give up on her at the very end. If there's any other way to take out the Great Spirit, I want to hear it.
This plan shall lead to the fewest losses in preserving your world. Abandoning it... It is vital that you proceed with this plan. A part of Rena's great astral spirit already resides within her. 300 years ago, the Great Spirit descended upon Lenegis in an attempt to assume direct control of this. We have reason to believe the Great Spirit left part of itself behind, and
which would make Alphen's earlier hypothesis correct.
That part inside the Maiden belongs to the core, and can be used by the great astral spirit to revive itself. So long as it remains, it will be all but impossible to That is why it is necessary for it to be vanquished only once it is whole. Without the Maiden's direct control over the great spirit, attacking it is futile, and will only serve...
No.
Wait, Naori said that the Renis Alma can suppress the self-realization of astral energy. and that the thorns can be neutralized by placing them in it. If so, can't the same also be done to the Great Spirit, seeing as the thorns are simply part of it?
Well, can it?
It is true that the Renis Alma is capable of what you suggest, and could contain the great astral.
Yes!
However, doing so requires fine control on the level of the spirit channel. Considering that the Renis Alma was previously lost when that ceremony failed, I cannot allow it. Its uncertainty is simply too...
What does that mean for us if you won't allow it?
Your starship will not be restored, and you will all be unable to leave here.
Why you?
Fine then. I'd rather stay here and rot than do it your way.
Alphen?
Whatever we do, if we mess up, Dana's screwed. The Great Spirit will destroy it. If you're fine letting that happen, and we have nothing to gain either way, then I'd rather do nothing. We want to stop Dana from getting destroyed. We want to save it. But not if it means having to sacrifice one of us in the process. If all you're gonna do is sit back and watch us where it's safe, then quit ordering us around and shut up!
Alphen.
What you say is irrational. Be that as it may, I shall accede to your demand.
You'll agree?
I am an observer. The Sovereign, Maiden, and Renis Alma are my species' greatest achievement. I wish to see how well they work against the Great Spirit in light of our demise.
But what are we supposed to do about the Renis Alma? One of your buddies ran off with it back on Lenegis.
It is likely that the Renis Alma is with the Great Spirit, functioning as...
So our only option to retrieve it is to head straight for the Great Spirit and...
According to my observations, the astral energy is most densely concentrated in the center of Rena, where the Great Spirit's core is located.
So much dialogue, man.
So right in the middle of that giant flower, then.
I have one more question. You've said that Rena's great astral spirit is already... What will happen to Rena once it vanishes?
Without the will of the Great Spirit, Rena is predicted to collapse. Even in such a scenario, the energy will disperse, and the Great Spirit will...
So you're saying that even if we manage to beat the Great Spirit without destroying it...
Likely, the collapse will occur in stages. It is recommended that you all...
Man, I wish that thing would tell it to us straight for one.
Hevrek 35 and the others have gotten used to hypothesizing from afar, so fix our starship. We're going to Rena.
Excellent.
But I want to make one thing clear. We're doing this for ourselves, to protect what matters to us. We're not doing it for yours. Remember that.
It matters little to me. The end result shall be the same. Repair work on your starship has commenced. You'll have to wait until it's finished.
Man, is it too much to ask for Hevrek 35 to talk like a normal person? I swear I can feel my brain starting to fry after listening to all that complicated stuff.
Is the Renis Alma really our only hope against the Great Spirit?
Ross preaching.
There has to be another way, right?
Shion's Firemaster Core was able to suppress astral energy to prevent it from... Couldn't we make use of that somehow?
I'm not sure. In small doses, maybe. But with the amount of energy we're talking about...
Back in Calaglia, the Blazing Sword was able to take in a whole spirit vessel's worth of energy. If it has the capacity to manage that, it can do this, right?
Except after it absorbed the energy, it ended up releasing it all moments later, remember? Let's not forget, it nearly killed you. Besides, this is the Great Spirit we're talking about, not a paltry vessel. Even if I could use the Master Core, your body wouldn't be able to take the strain of channeling that much.
Hevrek 35 didn't mention it, and it did not seem the type to skimp on D.
You're probably...
Yeah, let's get some rest. Let's get this shit done. I need to, like, fight some shit after listening to all that stuff. Another cutscene! That's fine.
You still thinking about what the scientists told us? About where Renans really come from?
I am. But not for myself.
You're worried about the future of the Renan people.
The fact that our people have been the same this whole time will only give the Danans further reason to resent us.
But you still intend to confront this truth.
Well, I did declare that I would live my life for the living, and not even as I dream of retirement. I shall remain dedicated to the cause.
I'm sure you'll do great.
Now that I think about it, I don't believe I've ever heard you criticize or reproach us Renans even once.
I'm no saint. I have skeletons in my closet too. There was definitely a time when I hated Renans for who they were. I hated them, but you changed that, Dohalim. You gave me an opportunity to see them in a different light. Thanks to your reforms, we were able to stand next to Renans not as slaves, but as equal. Of course, I'm sure there were some Renans who still hated us on the inside, but we knew that not all of you were like that. There were those of you. When it comes down to it, Renans are just people. They can be good or bad.
That is, in essence, the heart of your approach, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. When you can pull someone aside and talk to them one-on-one, then you have the chance to come to But as soon as you stereotype, that chance goes away, and you stop.
I understand what you're saying, but we're talking about massive numbers of Renans and Danans alike. Realistically speaking, surely they won't all be able to get along.
Even if we end up butting heads with one person, maybe we'll find better luck among their friends. If we can build a society that works like that, that'll be something worth nurturing and protecting.
So you wish for people to form real bonds and do away with the hierarchy outright? To deal with one another as...
Yes, I do. I think it would make for a fine tribute to my brother's legacy. Though, that said, do you still plan to return to Lenegis when this is over?
Indeed I do. I don't know whether I'll be able to reside in Lenegis proper, however. My first order...
You'll always have a home in Menancia, you know.
As I shall ever keep in mind.
Well, if you ever need a helping hand, don't hesitate to come get me. I'll always be there for you.
Did you just... Never mind. Thank you, Kisara. I appreciate your patience as I work all this out.
Don't even mention it. And really, when you think about it, now that we know the two of us aren't so different after all, don't you think that brings down a barrier that used to be between us?
You know...
Yeah, I think I do too.
Interesting. Oh, another one!
Hey, why'd you call me here? Was there something you wanted to talk about?
So I wanted to apologize while I can.
Apologize? For what?
I was being real stupid before. About whether Dana's will had been controlling us and all that. I get why you're angry now. Anybody would be if something they trusted was being questioned. So, I'm sorry, Rinwell. Really. I should have kept my mouth shut.
No, Law. Honestly, I think you might have been onto... Of course you were worried. Who wouldn't be if they found out there might be some invisible force pulling our strings this whole...
But you really trust Dana's will, don't you? Is it because you can sense it a lot more than the rest of us?
Yeah, I think that might be part of it, but I also want to believe it's good.
Believe?
Remember how I used to really resent coming from a family of mages?
Yeah, of course. Because you were always on the run.
When we rescued Zephyr and I finally decided to come along with you all, something changed inside me. It was the first time I felt like my powers had any meaning. Even if that meaning was only helping you guys fight. Then, when I felt Dana's will, I was overwhelmed by how vast and warm it was. It made me want to believe my powers were made to connect with it. It made me believe I had a bigger...
So that's why you hope it to be bad. You almost need it to be...
Yeah.
Well, alright. Then I promise I'll lay off bad-mouthing it.
You will?
There's no way for me to know for sure one way or the other, right? But you trusted Rinwell, and that's enough for me. So I'll try...
Remember what I said about neither planet's great spirit reaching us here? That's not quite true. I can feel just a little bit of Rena's inside you and everyone else.
You...
I sensed it when we first got here. It's a really small amount, but I think that's how Dana's energy probably is too.
So you're saying there's a little bit of Dana's will inside each of us? In a way, doesn't that mean we're all Dana's will?
What?
Well, like you said, unless Dana's energy comes together, it has no will. So if we all have a little bit of Dana's astral energy inside us...
Yeah, maybe...
Heverick 35 might know the answer, but... You know what? I don't need to ask it. My will is my own. I fight for who I want to fight for. That's who I am now. Who I've become. So thanks, Rinwell, for sharing that with me. To be honest, the only reason I was suspicious of Dana's will... Well, I mean, it mostly was... I feel like you and I had grown apart lately. And I was worried it was because...
Huh?
Never mind. Nothing. Just forget about it.
Huh? No. What were you saying?
Saying? I don't remember saying anything.
Now you won't tell me what you were thinking?
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Then spit it out already.
Now we're gonna get one for Alphen and Shionne, huh?
You sure you don't want to get some rest?
There's so many cutscenes, man.
I've got too much on my mind. Especially knowing how close our last battle is. How are you doing, Shionne?
Same as you. Still trying to absorb everything.
Remember when it was so simple? We were only fighting all the lords on Dana? All of that feels like a lifetime ago, doesn't it?
Ages and ages ago. Everything that's happened since we first met. So many fights, so much...
If I hadn't run into you that day, well, I wouldn't have met all of you. I never would have held the blazing sword or looked for something more. I wouldn't have my memories back. I'd still be a faceless slave, like as not long dead.
Hey, Alphen. I want you to promise me something.
Yeah?
If we can't find the Renis Alma, there's something I want you to do. Like Heverick 35 said, the only way we can end the Great Spirit for good is to go after both the main body in Rena and the thorns in me. I need you to promise me, Alphen, that if for some reason we can't get the Renis Alma back, you'll use the blazing sword to destroy the Great Spirit, and me along with it.
Huh?
It's true the blazing sword may not have the strength of the Renis Alma. But it's taken us this far. It's slain lords and beasts. At the very least, it has to be worth a try.
You can't be serious. Have you forgotten everything that we...
The Great Spirit isn't just our problem. It's a threat to our entire world. Renans and Danans alike. We don't know what's going to happen when we face it, but we need to be prepared for anything. We can't second-guess ourselves when the time comes. I promise you, I'm not planning on going anywhere. I'm prepared to fight with absolutely everything I've got. But if it comes down to it, I need you to be prepared too.
Okay. But you should know that I'm not going to give up on you, Shionne. I'm going to fight this until the very end. I hope you can forgive me for that.
Alphen. Okay, I understand. And I'll forgive you.
Thank you, Shionne.
So it's a promise then?
Yeah, it's a promise.
I remember how I felt the first time you touched me. My thorns made any contact a mistake no one would ever make twice. After they'd seen what could happen, fear would always linger behind their eyes. In my entire life, I never had someone willingly reach out to me. But when you reached out to me and gently took my hand, you didn't react at all. It was so easy for you. I don't have words for the shock I felt in that moment.
That's because I couldn't feel pain back then.
Even once you could, though, you still chose to keep reaching out to me. And when you did, I felt this warmth that I had never known before. But still, I hate having to see you suffer through it every time you do.
You won't have to worry about that for much longer.
You think so?
I do, because Shionne,
No. You can tell me once my thorns are gone. Okay?
He likes her.
Yeah. Okay.
He likes her. Calling it. I already know. I already know.
Everybody get enough rest? We ready for this?
Yeah.
Can we actually start playing the game?
Agreed.
Been streaming for an hour, haven't fought a single dude. It's been all dialogue. Come on. Let me fight someone. Let me fight something. I'm itching.
For a new future for both Dana and...
Right. We've come this far.
Then let's go, everybody.
Repairs on your starship are complete.
Is that you, Hevrek 35?
I can see anywhere within the bounds of Dig.
Sounds like someone's a peepee Tom.
Maybe we should give Hevrek 35 a break. It has been stuck in this...
I have unlocked all functions on your starship.
Warp drive? Wait, you mean like what the Red Women used to...
It's possible that the Red Women may have found a way to activate it on the starship. They are Helganquil after all.
Using the warp drive, you should be able to breach Rena's
Wait.
You'll need to be careful. Due to the force field surrounding Rena.
So, once we reach the shell, it appears...
We gotta go all the way...
Will all the Helganquil go back to normal once we defeat the Great Spirit? I have a strange feeling we're going to have to fight them before...
The extinction of my people is, as such, it would be illogical to risk the success of the mission.
Can't that thing lighten up a bit? Everything it says seems to be about what's...
Well?
Hold up. Did you just...
You heard the lady. Get going.
I have one last question.
Doe.
What?
As Sovereign, your identification number indicates that you are well past your predicted life expectancy. Similarly, the Maiden lacks any identification number, as her function should have been rendered unnecessary. Despite this, the two of you continue to exist. Why?
We exist because others have entrusted this to us. Over the years, many people have come together and sworn to see this through to the end.
You mean it is because of multiple chance interactions? The likelihood of such events is statistically improbable. Why have you two continued to persist under these conditions?
It's hard to explain. To be honest, I don't think it's something an observer... All right, time to get back on the Fall Knights.
Holy shit, are we gonna be able to go fight something now? It's been an hour and we haven't had a single combat session. It's been all fucking cutscenes!
That our Helganquil host really has fulfilled its end of the bargain.
You know what that means. Time to go to Rena.
I guess this means we should give that warp drive a spin.
Let's do it, come on! Give me something to fight! I want something to fight! I wanna beat something up with my sword! Let me... Please! Please!
There's nothing here. This weird ocean we're surrounded by just stretches out everywhere.
I don't sense even a trace of astral energy. This world is... dead.
Then this must be the Hollowing.
You mean to tell me this whole world?
And it's covering everything. The entire planet.
This is what the Great Spirit does. After it depleted this planet of every last speck of astral energy, it went after Dana.
So arresting. This world.
Back in its day, Rena was probably... But after being robbed of its astral energy for so long, those days are gone and past. This is all that will remain.
So the Great Spirit took everything. It stole it.
And it bound the Helganquil in servitude until their whole world was nothing but...
With nothing left here to consume.
You're saying if we don't stop it...
We can be sure that
If the oblivion and darkness both Shion and Naori saw comes... It looks like we can climb down. Let's take a look.
Holy shit!
So this is Rena. This...
We're actually playing! We're actually playing the game!
Yet it's a dead world?
I won't let Dana suffer the same fate.
Holy shit, that's beautiful looking. Let's get all these skits out of the way.
A hollowed ocean as far as the eye can...
What do you mean, what would happen?
Come to think of it, I don't believe I've heard of someone ever trying.
No.
This is essentially a world-sized Renan graveyard.
No, because I said...
Taking an interest is understandable, but let's
No,
not
because I
forget
said I
where we are.
passed.
This place deserves our...
Looks like we're not going to be hearing...
You'd think I was already snorkeling in it or something. So the idea is to seal the Great Spirit inside the Renaissance Alma using...
I'm guessing...
I already had wielded astral energy once 3 centuries ago. As for suppressing her thorns, the problem...
In other words, we need to find some way to weaken...
Back when...
If that's the case...
We might just be able to weaken it enough. It won't be easy.
Right. There's another one!
For you. Let's say, knock on wood, everything turns out for the...
What'll the world be like?
Yeah, I mean...
A lot will have to change, that's for sure. The world will...
What do you mean?
It's well...
That's true. Just...
Renans, Danans...
If only... Not differences, so much as...
It will take someone in power to set an example. But with time, people...
There will no longer be any need for the exam.
That's where... Imagine it. A world where magic...
Yeah, you're right, Rinwell. Why wait for somebody else?
Alright. Can we actually play the game now? After an hour and 7 minutes of streaming just straight cutscenes? Nope, because there's gonna be another one, and the skit.
I wonder what Helganquil civilization was like at its zenith.
I can imagine that'd be something you'd take an interest in.
There's no question it must have been advanced. Like not...
I get that you're itching to delve into its history, but we've got bigger...
Put a pin in it, and you can do all the research you want when you retire.
I can think of worse things than a retirement dedicated to research. As for whether Rena is amenable...
It's a little early to be giving it serious thought, just...
A man can dream, though.
Oh, we didn't say there's anything wrong with...
In your case, Dohalim, dream...
You'll need to stay with us for now, though. You're too helpful to let retire.
Why do I feel this is less of a compliment and more of...
Just a friendly suggestion.
Oh, so many fucking
I just
skits!
realized something!
Is this about dinner last night? I didn't realize those ingredients were off.
What? No! I mean... Wait, you fed us rotten food?
Rinwell, the point.
Oh, yeah, right. So I was thinking about those armored soldiers we've seen. There are regular Renans...
Yeah, they're designed to make whoever's wearing them stronger. At least,
Right. So it kind of begs the question, then. Why are they made...
I don't know, makes them more intimidating, I guess? Or maybe I'll...
You don't think it's weird how the armored soldiers are the exact same height as the Helganquil?
Can't say I'd ever noticed it till now.
Connect the dots!
Okay, let me get this straight. You think the...
Huh. But if that's true...
It would mean... just that, I guess. But still...
Not... hugely? Hey, Kisara, well, I've got you. What's on tonight's menu? Because I would...
Get him, Hootle.
What did I do?
Oh, now you want to listen. Keep pecking, Hootle!
Ow, ow, ow! Seriously, what the hell?
Holy shit, there's a third one!
We've taken out
God.
a whole lot.
You can say that again. If one thing's for certain in this world, it's that wherever we go, we'll always end up...
Isn't it weird that they're still so plentiful?
Certainly in all of my years, I've never heard of them
The only thing I can think of, then, is that the...
There's also no organized effort on our part to hunt them down. So...
Exterminate them? Whoa.
What do you mean?
Zeugles originally used to be living creatures native to Dana and Rena, right?
You're right. Zeugles were only created because of us Renans. We altered...
First, people made Zeugles, and then we let them go. And now we're trying to kill them because they're a threat.
I hope we find a way to be able to live side by side with them one.
It's a nice thought, but they attack towns and cities. What else are we supposed to...
Aside from the strays that have gone wild, it's worth remembering that Renans are able to keep them somewhat under control.
If we had distinct territories that didn't overlap, that might
Well, I guess when you look...
Yes, I love cutscenes. Give them to me. Oh shit!
Helganquil!
Yes!
They don't need their red woman
We're
disguised as a
fighting!
Can you understand us?
No, fight him.
It's no use. We're not going.
So they really are being controlled.
Yes, we're fighting. Holy shit, level 53!
Not pulling punches. We have no choice but to beat them at their own game.
That'll bring you down.
Oh, we're actually fighting and playing the game after an hour of streaming, dude. Holy fuck.
I can carve through armor.
I needed this.
You picked the wrong fight. An astral art?
That's my cue.
Shut him down.
Make it rain.
Kisara, Commander of Heaven.
Phoenix
Cyclone. Did it.
Yeah! Nice technique!
It's
Right here! I got it!
Arch shield.
These fists have got your name on them.
Stardust.
By the power of Halo. Finish with
This one's
it.
yours.
Don't mind if I do.
Dragon Swarm.
Look shot!
Watch this.
Dragon Swarm.
Come over.
I'll crush you. Lightning reflexes. Tenebrous claw.
I'm all stuck
I'm on a roll now. Here's a glimmer dragon.
Be still.
Ready and ready.
You're on.
Look shot! Let's make it rain!
Glimmer
You're
dragon.
on. Chill.
This ends now.
Consider yourself finished.
Alphen.
I can't forgive them for what they've done, but I hate killing them. They don't even know why they're fighting. How does that even make them
Perhaps. However, if we don't make a choice, the guilt of not doing anything...
Yeah,
I want.
I thought there'd be more dirt and rocks and stuff underneath the hollowed ocean, but it's all artificial.
I would imagine they're remnants left behind by the Helganquil.
It's incredible.
Hey, these guys built Lenegis, remember?
If they had the power to create things like... Or rather, was that the only use the... We
Another
haven't seen anyone here
one,
except
too.
Helganquil. Looks like this place really is their home planet.
The true citizens of Rena. What a shame that they have become... To think of the promise their accomplishments once...
Do you think we could have got along with them? You know...
Like all of us, you mean? I suppose it's different.
I think we may have had the...
You and Al... On the
I don't care. Sorry. Oh, there's a third one. Let's
Just
listen
look
to
at the
it.
size of that
Let's
thing.
skip through it.
And how Ganquil's technology certainly is impressive. And they don't... In the past 300 years. No, even before that. Just how...
Regarding the past 3 centuries, at least, I'd say there's a good chance that we're the... Also, while I get that it's impressive and all, I'm just amazed you're still standing around gawping at it at a time like this. Sometimes...
I can
What do you mean where it leads? To the center of the planet?
And that doesn't strike you as sounding just a little bit, oh, I don't know, far?
Yeah. With all this, there must be some kind of device somewhere.
Borrow one of their contraptions?
If it works for them, there's no reason it wouldn't for us.
You know what he's like, Law. Once he gets an idea in his head, there's no talking him out of it.
There's a fucking fourth
I wonder how the
skit
Renans
in a
avoided
row.
being mind
Holy
controlled at
shit.
the Helganquil. Do you think it might have something
My mind
to
is
do with
blown
the fact
right
that
now.
they were originally Danans?
I'd say
Ironic?
the Renans have committed grave injustices against the Danans. Now, it turns out they themselves were once Danans too.
Which must mean that the root of their evil isn't the Great Spirit, but some...
Now hang on, though. It was that same free will that allowed... Without it, we wouldn't have been able to beat hatred and forge all those connections we've made. Free will is what saved us.
Law's entirely right. And any...
Yeah. Where...
What'd he say?
He said, without a doubt.
Alright, let's keep fucking playing.
Brace yourselves! This one's tough!
Take this!
Be still!
Swallow
Burn!
Come on, a roll now!
This one's mine!
Infernal Torrent!
I'm surrounded!
Far enough!
Dragon Swarm!
Swallow dance!
Eternal
I can
Devastation!
carve through. Now I'm in the
I'm not
groove.
done!
Let the
Dragon
marksman
Swarm!
do it!
Still!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
There you go, Elfin!
It's time to end this battle!
I'm right beside you!
Dazzle!
Piercing
Rising Phoenix! Take this!
First aid shot!
Leave the ensnaring to me. Yeah!
To
me!
Destruction!
Finish
time.
it!
Elfin!
Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone!
Radiant flow! Here!
I'm on it!
Rising Wyvern!
This one's mine!
Mirage!
Dragon
Finish
Shield!
it!
Elfin!
Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone!
That firepower of yours is really something.
I could say the same.
Is this a dead end?
It appears this whole room functions as an element. That apparatus there is likely what's used to control it.
What the? Where did they come from?
Less worry, more action! Concentrate!
Can't get out of.
I'm also good with airborne targets!
Try this!
Radiant light!
Flying free.
Make it play!
Turn the tables, Xion. Can you take care of them?
No sooner said than done!
Come and face me! I'm not done! Slice! No escape!
Hurricane
The
strike!
flame inside is yours to be let free! Now! More Stinkles?
Keep calm and take them down!
Megasonic Thrust!
That'll bring you down!
Dragon Swarm!
Do it!
Kisara! Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone!
Did it!
Yeah!
Here
Nice technique!
Voice Flash! No escape!
I'm all stuck!
Mirage! Here I come! This one's all mine!
Hurricane strike!
You picked the wrong fight!
Do
You're
it!
mine!
Ringwell! Frozen!
Hammer!
More? Mirage! Dragon!
Now we're not hang the fray!
Eternal!
Take this.
This one's mine! Here goes! Do it!
Ready and
Look sharp!
lightning tiger blade.
Here
No
I go!
more! Mirage!
Denied!
This
Now you
one's
see
all
what I
mine!
can do.
Where are you going?
Struck! Be still!
Hurricane strike!
Do it!
Dohalim!
All yours, Kisara.
Not a chance! Slice!
Hurricane strike! Excited!
Mirage! Burn!
Don't mind if I do!
Dragon Swarm!
Mega Ray! Tectonic punch! Look sharp! Here's a healing! Do it! Tiger blade!
Look sharp!
Lightning tiger blade.
See that?
That training's paying off!
Hurricane
Kisara! Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone.
Not a chance! I'm not done! Struck! Not today!
I'm on a corruption! Talon Hurricane! This one's mine!
Make it rain! I'll stop your movement!
And I'll stop your life.
More?
Shattering
Dynamite!
Oh, now I'm real mad.
Struck! Mirage!
Armor won't save you.
You're mine!
I'll do it!
Start up! Look sharp!
Lightning tiger blade.
Will this help
Not a
reinforce it?
chance!
Ready to
No
go!
escape! Mirage!
I think the enemy's getting desperate.
I'll crush you. Lightning reflexes. Tenebrous claw.
More? You're mine!
Hurricane strike!
Ignite!
This one's mine! This
You're
one's
mine!
enough! I thought you more defensively minded.
Defense via threat elimination. There's a better defense.
Look sharp!
Lightning tiger blade.
Like more?
Piercing
I'm not done!
There! I never miss! Let the marksman handle this!
Eat dirt!
Lightning! Hurricane swirl! Hold on to your heart! Here I come!
Tear you apart!
Zephyr Trident! Time to burn!
You may slip worth of it. Want me to pick up your slack then? Just pointing it out.
Lightning thrust! Rising focus!
Here I go. I can carve through armor. I'm only getting searing tempest. Hurricane my will. Look there. Tornado. That's it. There. This one's mine. You're mine. Zephyr Titan. Help this. Hurricane Squad through. Going in. Severe Sweep. That's it. Zephyr Titan. Recover. Recover. Here I go. Got make your move. Astral energy.
Say no more.
I'm even stronger than before. Even in such a harsh environment as this. There are still creatures here?
You think they're native to Rena? Or could they be Zoogle somehow?
Whatever they are, they're dangerous. Watch yourselves around them. You think that
Whoa.
jet stretches all the way to Rena's core?
Brace yourselves. This one's tough. Dragon Swarm. Burn it down.
Denied.
Can't get out of this!
Glacial
That buzzing is driving me mad.
I got two.
Pesky airborne scoundrels!
Sounds like a job for yours truly. Not on my watch. Look sharp. Healing switch. That'll bring you down.
I'm sorry to be a problem.
We've all got enough of it.
Yes, ma'am!
Look sharp.
Lightning Tiger Blade!
See that?
That training's paying off.
Now I'm in the groove. All good things come to an end.
Megasonic Thrust. Try this.
Power of water. On a roll now. Power of hurricane. Venom flare.
I'm not done. Lightning Thrust.
Time to shine. Explosion.
Take this. I'm not done. We've turned the tables on.
There are still more left.
Right. No time to hold back. I'm not done.
This one's done.
It's Kisara, Commander of Heaven.
Phoenix Cyclone.
Did it.
Take this. This ends now.
Consider yourself finished.
Hell yeah.
That's some power you wield.
You're the one who did the heavy lift. Dick. I have a bad feeling about this.
Far enough.
Strike! Ignite!
Here goes. Hurricane Slice.
Lightning Thrust!
These Linikins are freaks around us. Going in. This one's mine.
No escape!
All things over won't save you. Make it rain.
Dazzle!
Radiant one's mine.
Mirage! Definitive! Dragon Swarm!
Mega Ray. Hurricane Slice.
Prepare to be sealed, fleet of foot. Actually, perhaps bound is more appropriate.
Less talking, more doing.
This one's all mine!
Hurricane Slice.
You picked the wrong fight!
These have got your name on them! Take this!
Do it.
Double me! In an instant! Impact Block!
I'm going to need to use all the power of my healing arts to accomplish this.
Dragon Swarm!
Resurrection!
Strike! Void Blast! Mirage! Dragon Swarm! Be still! Void Blast! This one's all mine! Ignite!
Glimmer Dragon! Far enough!
These guys picked the wrong fight.
No complaints here. The more the merrier.
Just don't go getting any rash ideas.
Oh, hell yeah.
We're in for a long slog with this one.
Armor won't save you! In a bind?
Dragon Swarm!
Glacial Steel! They got your head going! That's not even fair!
Glimmer Dragon!
Healing Hurricane!
Need to calm my water. Be careful not to overdo it. I don't feel so bad.
You should sit this one out then.
And miss all the fun. No way.
Be still! No escape!
On guard!
Take this!
On guard!
Too fast!
Stand back. I'll trip it up.
Switch to the power of roll! Piercing roar! Constantine!
Explosive ring!
I can carve through armor!
Ignite!
On guard! I'll fix you up!
I'm Glimmer Dragon!
Glimmer Dragon! I'm not done! You're out! Now I'm in the mood! Eternal devastation! Dazzle! You're finished!
Lightning! Bleeding power!
Here I come! Watch it! Be still!
Hurricane strike!
Rising Phoenix! Strike!
Hurricane strike!
You're mine! Freaking does it! I'm not done!
I owe you one for that.
I'm not done!
Thank you for all your help.
Please, don't mention it.
I'm glad to know someone's got my back.
Eat this! First try!
Going
Can't get out of this! I'll tear you up! I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw! Dust to dust! I can carve through now I'm in the groove!
Water, hear my call! Glacial Warrior, here's evil!
Try harder!
Here goes! Lancer!
You're on! Try this!
Here's a roll! Not cover dreams! Going in! One more! Flaming meteor!
This one's all mine! You picked the wrong fight!
Ready to go! I'm going to need to use all the power of my healing arts to accomplish this. Hurricane strike! This one's mine!
That's it! I'm not done!
Rick shot!
Prepare to be I'll finish you here and now!
I'm so focused on this fight, man. Not talking much, sorry.
That'll bring you down!
Be still!
This one's
We've
mine!
turned the tables on him.
There are still more left!
Right. No time. Commander of Heaven.
Phoenix Cyclone!
Yeah, nice technique.
I owe you one.
I'll take you all on. Ha! Flare Demolitor! A flaming meteor!
You picked the wrong fight.
Do it! Hurricane Astral Energy!
Say no more.
There's always room for improvement. Got some good equipment!
I can't say its appearance is to my tastes, personally.
Guess I misread the landing.
Don't get careless!
Don't tell me!
By the power of Don't mind if I do!
Dragon form!
I think I'll handle it!
Attack time!
I can handle it. Far enough.
Now or never.
All Phoenix Phoenix!
You picked the wrong fight.
Look Dazzle! In a bind? Take this! Oh, now you're talking!
This one's mine!
Oh, shit. I didn't even know I had that one.
See what happened there is you crossed me. Shouldn't have done that.
Dazzle! Strike! Searing Gale! I'll crush you!
That's sick.
Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw!
I'm going to need to use
Now you
all
see
the
what I can
power
do.
of
I'm
my
not done.
marksman handle this.
I'm not done!
I never miss!
Not a chance! I'm on! Looking good! Rip it down! That freaking does it!
I'll stop its charge.
Thanks, Kisara!
What a relief!
Going in!
The flame inside is yours to be let free! Freaking does it! Here I come! Ignite!
Going in! By the
Get
power
out
of
of this!
Annihilation!
Watch this!
Ready to go! Never race!
My head's spinning. Just
Searing
watch.
Gale!
Down!
Far enough.
I can carve through
I'm
all
not
Phoenix
done.
you
I'm
hear
going to need to use all the power of my healing arts to accomplish this.
On guard.
You're mine!
One more.
Will this help?
Eternal devastation!
This one's mine!
Okay, here I go.
Do it!
Look sharp!
Lightning Tiger Blade!
This firearm feels like a part of me now.
Have you ever thought of wielding two at once?
Would be double the firepower, and plenty of style to boot.
What use is style when it's life or death?
These structures... Just don't look like anything built by the Renans. Or even what we saw in the Forbidden Zone.
Perhaps this... This is the true architectural style of the Helganquil.
We're in for a long slog with this one.
I'm surrounded!
This one's mine.
Mirage! Try this!
Insect to stay on the ground. This one's mine.
Dragon Swarm!
Pesky airborne scoundrel!
Sounds like a job for you, truly.
Too fast!
Stand back! I'll trip it up!
Mirage!
There. Again.
It's on! Not today!
Redwell, astral energy, full throttle!
My turn!
I'll smash you!
Dragon
It's over! Dazzle! Strike!
Make it rain.
Totally! In an instant! Impact block! Not a chance!
I'll finish you right now!
Eagle assault.
I'm not
Hard
done!
up.
Dragon Swarm!
Glacial
I'm not
spear.
done!
Pierce evil.
You require a hand.
Megasonic Thrust! You're mine!
Eat dirt. Take this.
Do it! Oh, now I'm real mad!
On guard. This
Flame
one's
inside
mine.
me yearns to be let free!
By the power
Make it
of
rain.
God!
I'll stop your movement.
And I'll stop your life!
Good to know my training is paying off.
Oh shit.
Brace yourselves! This one's tough! Burn! Crumble!
Don't mind if I do.
Watch it! No further!
Here's a healing arc.
Tiger
Blade!
Where you are?
Here I go.
You're mine! Be still! Void blast! Strike!
This one's
Searing
mine.
gale!
Without a fight.
I'm not done!
See what I can do!
Dazzle! Stardust! Rising Phoenix! Dazzle!
What's this?
Dragon
Here's a healing
Swarm!
arc.
Megasonic
Kitara, frozen.
Hammer.
My
I'm
turn!
ready.
Look sharp! Crush! First strike! Not today! Dragon
Make it
Swarm!
rain. This ends now.
Consider yourself finished!
There you go, Elvin.
It's time to end this battle!
I'm right beside you.
Great!
Those thorns.
I'm not letting them get in our way! Hey! New equipment!
Looks like trouble.
Mega Capital Together, we got this! It's on!
Talon Hurricane.
Strike!
By the
Take
power
this.
It can hide itself? Amazing!
show you what my art can do.
Rise and shine.
Void blast!
What's this?
Searing gale!
Go in.
Smash you!
Don't mind if I do.
Struck! No further! Ruin this!
On guard.
Outstanding form.
I'm just getting started.
Be still!
Piercing
Rising Phoenix!
This one will
Dragon Swarm!
Here, let me help.
Lightning Thrust! It's on! Tear!
This
Dragon Swarm!
just getting started.
Eternal Devastation!
Going in.
Coming through!
Bam, messed it up.
Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Let the marksman handle this.
Burn!
Going in.
Never miss.
Dazzle!
I'll smash you!
Here I go. One more. This one's mine.
Take this!
I'm out of it. Watson.
No further!
shouldn't have messed with me!
Explosion!
Here, let me help.
Why'd you heal me?
To stop you dying?
Leave the enemy's arms to me!
No complaints here! Reflexes! Tenebrous Claw! I'll tear you apart!
I'm going to need to use all the power of my healing arts to attack.
My watch!
Dragon Sword! Eat this! Watch this! Anything in armor is all mine! Now you see what I can do!
I'll stop its charge.
Thanks, Kisara!
How do you like being pounded into shape?
Talon Hurricane! Glimmer Dragon!
Do it! Dopaline!
Light Burst Force!
Radiant Genesis!
Everyone's still in one piece?
Cool. Oh.
I have a bad feeling about this.
In a bind? Take this! Lightning Thrust! One more! Here! Force Blast! Eat this!
These things really get on my nerves.
Not today!
That'll bring you
Flying
down.
free! They just sit still!
Sion, can you take care of them?
No sooner said than done.
Don't mind if I do.
Right here. I got it.
Force Blast! I'm not done!
Make it rain.
Here you go!
Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Dracula.
Did it!
Yeah. Nice technique. Far enough.
I never miss.
It's on! Eat dirt!
Hurricane Blast.
Try this! Infernal Fire! Carve through arm! Do it! Take this!
Annihilate. This ends now.
Consider yourself finished! My turn! Voice! It's time!
Hurricane
You're
Blast.
on! First time!
Take this.
I'm not done! Can't get out of this!
Mega Ray.
This one's all mine! No escape! Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade!
See that?
That training's paying off!
Hurricane Blast.
I'm just getting started!
Look sharp. Take this. Do it.
Eternal Kisara!
Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Dracula.
The heavens must be smiling.
Find another one.
Like trouble with a capital T! Together, we've got this!
Art expert coming through!
By the power of flame. Finish without a trace.
Now you've gone and ticked me off.
Armor won't save you! Look sharp!
Hurricane Strike.
Watch this!
Going in. One more. I'm going to use this all the power of my healing arts to accomplish this.
Fear it!
I'll take you all on. Ha! Flare the Malika.
I'll bring you back from Dex Abyss.
Dare you! Watch this!
Now or never.
I'll show you what my arts can do.
Deny.
Shine.
Eat this!
Where are you going?
So tired. All that running around is getting...
Damn, dude.
No,
Damn it!
I don't think that's it.
Stand back! I'll trip it up!
You're off.
Savage roar! Burn! Be still! Voice Blast!
Recover.
Fearing Gale! I'll smash you! Oh, now you're talking! Their arcs were interrupted! Ring!
Hold on to your arts.
So much for sitting this fight out.
That wouldn't be a concern.
No, that'd be silly. Fearing Gale! I'm on it!
This one's now. One more.
Done! Flame inside me! Choose to be let free!
Time to shine.
Force Blast! Fearing Gale! That's it! get out of this!
It's trying to stay! Lightning thrust! Did you hear it now? Leave the charge to me! Far enough! Armor won't save you! Here I come! Dragon Swarm!
This one's mine!
Hurricane Thrust!
Switch to offense! Ryan, here!
Not today!
Look sharp!
Castle!
Rearing
Shut up! Point Black!
Eagle Assault! Lunar
Stealing
Freezing
Gale!
Power Sword! Gemini
Take
Onward!
this!
One more! By the power of
Piercing Roar! Lightning Thrust!
This one's mine!
Rising Phoenix!
Not on my watch!
You made me angry. That was a bad idea.
Hurricane
Thrust!
Eagle Assault! Now you see what I can do!
Make it rain! Sion, Astral Energy! Full throttle!
That'll teach us. We're getting cocky.
Brace yourselves! This one's tough!
In a vine?
Dragon Swarm!
Mega Ray!
Hurricane
This one's
Ignite! Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade!
See that?
That training's paying off!
You shouldn't have messed with me!
Take this!
Far enough!
Be still! Point Black! Steering Gale! Lightning Thrust!
I'll crush you! Lightning Reflexes! Tenebrous Claw!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
Hell yeah.
Well, am I improving?
Tremendously. The speed and precision of your aim is simply unmatched.
I had no idea you were watching me so closely.
This might... be some decent equipment.
Anything that makes battles easier is okay by me.
Get lost!
This one's all mine! Ignite!
This one's mine!
Swarm! Point Black! Time to cross blade!
Take this! What? Now you see what I can do! No further!
Mega Ray!
Dragon Swarm!
Gemini Onward! Don't mind if I do!
Eat this!
By the power of flame!
Nice while it
Finish without a trace!
You're mine! You're mine!
Switch
I'm on a roll now!
Through escape!
Let me show you what you like! This one's
Dragon
mine!
Swarm!
Dragon Shell!
Now I can let loose!
Watch this!
Dazzle! The flame inside me yearns to be let free!
Take this!
You're mine!
Eat this!
Freeze Lancer!
Point Black!
Oh, now
Steering Gale!
Glacial Precipice!
I'm trying to power of my healing arts
Now
to
you see what I
accomplish
can
it.
do!
Dazzle!
Hurricane Swarm! Eat this!
Rising Phoenix!
I'll tear you apart!
Escape!
Here, let me help. I'll stop its charge.
Thanks, Kisara!
Take this! I'm on a roll now!
Burn! Be still!
I'll crush you! Lightning Reflexes! Tenebrous Claw!
Fuck my mic again.
Now!
I never miss!
Here I come!
Art Steel!
Let's keep up the pressure.
Glacial City! Here's Evo!
Lightning Thrust!
Freeze Lancer!
We're interrupted.
My turn!
Attack time!
Here I come! Strike! Steering Gale!
Let's tear him
Here's
up!
my call!
Freaking done it!
Make it rain! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
That's some power you wield.
You're the one who did the heavy lifting. I have a bad feeling about this.
Eat this! Eternal devastation! Dragon Swarm!
Hurricane
Now I'm in the groove.
Ready and ready! Strike! Ignite!
Tiger Blade! Ready to go!
Megasonic Thrust!
Make your
Go,
way!
Phoenix Bang! Stardust!
Eat this!
I'll burn it all! Flaming Pillar! Fire! This is the power of the Blazing Sword!
I'm like bait to them.
Here goes!
Dazzle!
Not in your dreams!
This one's all mine! Ignite!
That'll bring you down.
Hurricane
Take this!
Strike!
Mirage!
Look sharp.
Here I come!
Eat this!
Going in.
It got fire!
I've got this!
Dragon
Let a
Swarm!
marksman handle it!
Lightning Thrust! All yours!
Do it!
Searing Gambit!
Astral Energy!
Say no more! My turn!
Eat this!
Prepare to be sealed. Actually, perhaps sound is more appropriate.
Let's talk more doing.
Searing Gale!
Piercing here. I think we can get through this.
Don't let up until it's over.
Who said anything about letting off?
Redwell! Astral Energy! Full throttle!
Dragon Shell!
Look sharp.
Rivet Tear! Force Blast!
I'm on a roll now!
You're on!
I never miss!
Dragon
Do it!
Light Burst Force!
Radiant Genesis!
Not a chance!
I'll heal you all! Do it! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished! With your flames and my technique,
We're stronger together than we are apart.
Cool.
I have a bad feeling about this.
Don't mind if I do!
We don't know what my art can do.
no further!
Oh, too shy to come over. Look sharp. Far enough.
Explosive Ring!
Outstanding form.
Hurricane Strike!
Marksman handle it.
Smash you! Dragon Swarm!
Take this.
By the power of
Dazzle!
flame!
Where are you going?
Stardust! Sword! Void
Blaze
Blast!
of fire.
Strike!
Tiger Blade.
Prepare to be sealed!
By the time of
Oh shit.
Can't get out of this!
Look sharp.
Dazzle!
One more.
Void Blast!
Shouldn't have messed with me.
Searing Flame!
Here you
Oh, too shy to come over. Here. Not help.
I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw!
First strike! Talon Storm! Be still!
Going in.
Burn!
Oh, now you're talking!
Not in your dreams! Hurricane Strike!
Mirage on it!
Look sharp.
Hurricane! Crush!
Going in.
Dragon Swarm!
Searing Flame!
Leave the forces to me.
Stardust! Here I come! No escape!
What is this? Hey, you okay?
I can still do this!
Swallow Dance!
In a vine.
Take this! This one's mine! Look sharp! Where are you going?
Ignite!
How about this?
Attack time!
Force slash! Piercing roar! My head's spinning just one!
Rising Phoenix! Take this!
Do it!
Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade!
Am I on a roll or what?
Well, look who's in a bright and shiny mood.
It'll be a breeze. Get in, get out.
Here! As if the normal creepy crawlies aren't disgusting enough.
Eat this!
Here's a healing art!
I'll smash you!
On guard!
Explosive ring!
Here and now! Oh, now you're
I'm going to use all the power of my healing art to accomplish this.
Dazzle! Void Flash!
I'm sorry to not easily be
We've
fatal.
all got enough. Just as well,
Yes, ma'am.
stop it. I never miss!
Eat this!
Going in.
Burn in hell!
One more!
Take this!
Coming! Strike! My head's spinning just one! Power of flame!
Away! I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw!
You're mine! Dazzle!
I'm all stopped up!
Now I'm in the groove! Armor won't save you!
This one's mine! This!
Be still!
Frickin' does it!
Stunner! Strike!
Here's the
Searing Gale!
Far enough!
I'm on a roll now!
The flaming side is yours to be let free! Not a chance!
Hurricane!
Burn in hell! Dazzle!
I'll get you here and now!
One more! Hurricane explosion! Going in!
Take this!
Outstanding
Be
force!
still! Kisara! Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone! Remember to tell me if you need heat.
There we go.
I expect you'll be in high demand if that's the case. Brace yourself! This one's tough!
Get behind me!
I'm not done!
Here's evil!
You're mine! Stunner!
This one's mine!
Just getting flying freaks! Why can't they just sit still?
Sion, can you take care of them?
No sooner said than done!
Stunner! Void Flash!
Now I'm in the groove!
You require help.
In a vine? You see what happened there as you crossed me. Shouldn't have done that.
Going in! Make it ready! I'll stop your movement!
And I'll stop your life! And done!
Let's keep up the pace!
Dragon Force!
I'm on a roll now! I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw! I'm on it!
Burn in hell!
I can carve through! I'm just getting started!
Here, let me help!
Talon Hurricane!
Resurrection!
Stunner!
Glacial fire!
Void Flash! The
Where
flame
are you
inside
going?
me yearns to be let free!
Going in!
Dragon Swarm!
Rhythm tear!
Mega
We got the advantage!
Good. Just have to make sure we keep it.
Don't worry, because we're all on!
Piercing power!
First strike!
Freeze laser! This one's mine!
This one keeps charging us!
That's what my shield's for.
Dazzle!
Get behind me!
Got it! I'll leave it to you!
This one's mine!
My head's spinning just watching you.
Armor won't save you!
I'm ready! Talon Hurricane!
Burn in hell!
Sliver Dragon! Now
Where
in
are
the
you
groove!
going?
Flaming thrust!
Denied!
Amazing.
Dragon Swarm!
Glacial spear! Evil!
Explosive ring!
Hurricane strike! Ready!
much!
On guard!
Coming through!
Good.
Now! Scarlet Inferno!
I'll heal you all!
Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade!
I need to be stronger.
Cool.
We're in for a long slog with this one.
All mine! Eat this!
That frigate does Here's a healing orb!
Mirage!
Careful! It has some kind of camouflage! When did I get so popular? Anything matters, all mine!
Aw, too shy to come over. That'll bring you down.
These fists have got your name on them! Can't get out of this! Now you see what I can do!
Strike! Searing Gale!
Hurricane Strike!
I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw!
Cool.
Lightning Thrust!
Nothing seems to phase you, Kisara.
Must be years of strict training.
I wonder if I could do like that.
I thought you were more defensively minded.
Defense via threat elimination.
Though the best defense is a great offense.
My head's spinning just watching you.
I can carve through armor!
Ready!
I'll tear you apart!
Reload!
The earth throbs in pain.
Ignite!
Hurricane Outstanding form!
One more! Searing Gale!
Dragon!
I owe you one.
Glacial Fire!
An astral
That's my cue! This one's mine!
Shut him down!
I can carve through armor!
Mirage! Try harder! Now! Here I come! Crush!
Going in.
Dragon
Nice
Roar!
done it. Ticked me off.
What?
What the hell is going on? Fall back, Alvin. We'll take point here.
You impose on this.
Far enough.
Here I come! The flame and strike me!
Go for it!
Prepare to crumble. Any chance we could make the next time a little bit warmer?
Does it look like it comes with a thermostat?
We got ourselves a boss fight, ladies and gents.
What do you think this place was for?
What the hell? Are they asleep?
No. They appear to be well preserved. However, they are all dead.
Dead? So this is a mass grave?
Looks that way. However, none of them appear to be Helganquil.
Bear in mind that Renans were originally Danans, who were remade and sent to live on Lenegus. Knowing that, they would have needed a place to perform the procedure somewhere.
And that place is here, I assume.
So what you're saying is that all of these are Danan, or rather, Renan bodies?
Most likely, yes. It must have been abandoned for one reason or another.
There are so many of them. They were all taken away, but never given the chance to wake.
Damn. Uh-oh. Ugh.
What is that thing?
Something we have to fight if we want to get across, it seems.
Ooh.
Be careful! It's huge!
What is with all the huge lumbering beasts lately?
It's no ordinary Zooble. That much is damn sure.
Watch yourselves. All bets are off when it comes to this thing. Be still!
Arc field! Searing flame! Reload!
Switch Dragon Form!
By the power of the meteor! Without a trace! Time to shine! Hurricane Hurricane!
Take this!
Look sharp! Explosive!
Can't get out of this! I'm on a roll now!
No escape!
I'll smash you!
On guard!
Its head is its weak point? We'll need to bring it down somehow to hit it.
In that case, let's start with the one in the middle.
This one's mine! Outstanding form!
Dragon Form!
Hurricane Flight! Let the marksman handle this! Where are you going?
Ignite!
Eat this!
Now take it!
Now I'm in the
Devastation! Far enough!
Dragon Swarm!
My head's spinning just watching you.
This one's mine! Now you see what I can do!
Lightning!
It's time!
Switch on!
First strike!
Piercing roar!
Take this!
Take this!
Watch
Hurricane
this!
Flight!
This one's mine!
Dragon Swarm!
Hurricane Flight!
You picked the wrong fight!
This one's mine!
Annihilation!
Here!
Eternal devastation! Be still! Stardust!
Shield and mace!
Anything in armor is come on!
You're finished!
Hurricane! Hurricane!
Lightning thrust!
Rip and tear!
This one's mine!
Death Blossom!
Hurricane Flight!
Be
Freeze
still!
Take this! In a bind?
Tear!
Talon Storm!
Eat dirt!
Eat dirt! That'll bring you down!
Dazzle!
Hurricane Flight! I'm going to need to use all the power of my healing art to attack this.
Dragon Swarm!
I'm on it!
Try
Resurrection!
this!
Dragon Shout!
I'm ready!
Explosive ray! Commander of Heaven!
Hurricane Flight!
Denied!
Mirage!
Shield and
Eternal
mace!
devastation!
Circle! Not in your dreams!
Shattering of
Mirage!
pieces! Attack
Another
us!
corruption!
Lightning thrust!
I can carve through armor!
Mirage! Crush! The flame inside me yearns to be let free!
Going in!
Swallow Dance!
Hurricane Corruption!
Now I'm in the groove!
Now we'll never...
Eagle
Annihilation!
Can't get out of this!
Hurricane Flame! Reload!
Shouldn't have messed with me!
You're mine! Void Blast!
Corruption! On guard!
Mirage! Dragon Swarm! Be still!
Annihilation! Reload! Here goes!
I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw! Dragon shout!
Dazzle!
Now you see what I can do!
Eternal
This one's
devastation!
mine!
Thunder touch!
Try harder! It's on! Burn!
Going in!
The finishing blow!
You'll need to beat me to it, kid.
I'll take on that challenge! Now I'm in the groove!
Don't mind if I do!
Let's tear them
Ready
up!
to go! Hurricane Flame! Reload!
Far enough!
Savage Lightning!
Dragon Swarm!
There! Hurricane
Now I'm in the
Flame!
groove!
Look sharp!
Mirage!
Armor won't save you!
Dragon Swarm! Eat dirt!
Gemini Hurricane
I'm on it.
Flight!
This one's mine!
Glimmer Dragon! Take this! Take
Blast shot!
Piercing roar!
Lunar
Mirage!
Corruption!
Dragon Swarm! I'm on it!
Where are you going?
Here I
This
come!
one's mine!
Do it! Remove!
Astral Energy!
Say no more!
Hell yeah.
The hell was that thing?
Probably something that was made here and somehow managed to survive, even after all this time. Not that there's any way of knowing now.
What's wrong?
Oh, I just suddenly found myself contemplating what might have happened to the sovereigns that were meant to emerge from the crown contests.
What do you mean?
You see, the winners of the past crown contests were all strong astral arts practitioners. Furthermore, that enemy we just fought appeared to be composed of several human bodies. It was certainly nothing one would find in nature.
You're saying those were the remains of the winners? That they forgot who they once were?
I'm merely saying it's a possibility.
That's absolutely gruesome. How long had the Helganquil been at this?
It was Rena's great spirit that made them do all of this. Anything to get its astral energy.
We're not...
So, looks like the Helganquil have been engineering Zeugles too. Why doesn't that surprise me at this point?
The creatures we've been encountering here have been a little different to what we're used to fighting. But I'm pretty sure they're Zeugles too.
Do you think they were engineered using creatures native to the area?
Indeed. However, based on the current circumstances, I would guess these Zeugles are all that's left of the planet's fauna now.
You mean, there might have been native owl species here once upon a time too?
We're back in that other room? Did the teleporter fail or something?
Something feels off about it.
Look! Everything's upside down!
The furnishings are, at least. No, you're right. The whole room's flipped on its head.
So what was once down is now up, and vice versa. I suppose the teleport... They reversed our orientation then.
I guess this is the flip side of that pathway we were walking on just a little while ago.
This is crazy. Who knew such
All
amazing
right.
technology existed?
Everything's topsy-turvy and that's all you can
So-
think about?
Bear in mind, the core of Rena now sits above us.
Let's see what we're
I
at.
pray that we won't encounter many stairs along the way.
We're gonna call it here. This seems like the halfway point of the dungeon. So, we'll likely be wrapping up Tales of Arise in tomorrow's session. I'll likely be streaming longer since this is near the tail end of the game. If not next session, definitely the one after. So 1 to 2 more sessions of streaming this game and we'll have completed Tales of Arise, at least the main story. And then I plan to move on to another game that I already have ready to stream, and I'm really excited to play. Very excited. And I'll likely continue to play this through all the post-game content, the post-dungeons, new bosses, sub-quests that I've missed on my own time. And, yeah. Maybe I'll do a review, a quick review of this game if I'm feeling it, or I'll give my review once I beat the story. But anyways, I'm gonna call it here. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Y'all have a great night, everybody, and catch you in Tales of Arise Part 19.